Alright guys, my name is Zach, and today we're going to be getting a good look and overview of Sherwood's new receiver with Wi-Fi capabilities, so stick around and enjoy. Alright guys, so unlike most reviews on my channel, this is the biggest one I've done so far, so I've decided to split it into two videos. This video will just be an overview of the receiver as well as a look at the physical features as well as what is in the box that it comes in. So starting at the front of the receiver, we've got a really nice glossy reflective finish that just looks really nice and premium. As for the buttons, we've got starting from the left side, the power button as well as a standby LED, which pretty much instead of completely turning off the receiver, you're just going to be able to, let's say, put it in a standby or a low power mode so where you can quickly resume when you get home from that baseball game. Right below that, we've got an input selector so you can cycle through, let's say, what HDMI input you want. So satellite cable or the Xbox or whatever you've got plugged in. Directly to the right of that, on the bottom, we've got a 1/4-inch headphone jack to listen straight audio from the receiver. An auxiliary input so we can put music through that from your phone or laptop or whatever device you're using. As well as a setup microphone so when you're testing out your speakers, you actually, configure them correctly and don't screw up like a failure. So directly above that, we've got the standby actual button, so we can select that. To the right of that, we've got a band button, so that'll pretty much be able to select your EQ from rock or whatever you want. That's pretty much what that does. To the right of that, we've got a tuner, which is your radio and stuff like that. Directly to the right of that, we've got your preset buttons. And then you've got your stereo, so you can switch between your stereo and surround sound. And then as well as to the right of that, you've actually got your type of surround sound that you want. And below that, you've got your 500 milliamp hour 5-volt USB port to where you can charge your device or plug in a USB drive with some music on it so you can listen to that. And finally, to the right of that, you've got a master volume wheel. Overall, the front is very nicely laid out and detailed. On the back of the device, we've got a lot of ports. I mean, it's the back. There's tons of stuff. So I guess we'll start from the top where the HDMI ports begin. So we've got an HDMI out, and to the right of that, we have 5 HDMI ins, and it's really nice how they're labeled, so you know what you're doing. So for example, you can plug your Xbox into that game one, and then on the remote, click game. You got your Xbox, you got your receiver for the satellite in this satellite cable. You've got your DVD player, you've got your auxiliary, and then you've got your BDR. I'm not sure what that is, but yeah, it's just another name. Okay, so right below that on the very left, you've got your FM radio and AM radio antennas that you can plug in right over there. And then to the right of that, you've got some audio in and out, right-left speaker setups for your devices that do not use an HDMI cable. And directly to the right of all that, you've got a subwoofer out. Also, a cool feature of this receiver is that you can actually have 2 rooms ran by the same receiver. So, as you can see, you've got that room 2 section right there. That allows you to separately control each room at the same time. So you can say, let's play a movie in this room and then just play music in this room. So you don't have to have 2 receivers. You can just have the same receiver controlling both rooms, which is really nice. Directly to the right of the subwoofer out, we've got some video in and outs. And to the right of that's pretty much where all the magic happens as far as, outputs go. We've got a ton of banana plugs for speakers. I pretty much used all of these almost. I have a 7.1 surround sound in my living room, so these were pretty much completely filled up. And I like that they use banana plugs instead of just the normal left and right speaker wire, because I just think this looks a lot more cleaner and is personally easier to use. And so above that, we've got your LAN Ethernet input as well as a mini USB. And far to the right, we've got our power in with a maximum power consumption of 260 watts. You're probably wondering, why does this receiver have an Ethernet in? Well, that will be covered in the next video I've got, so stay tuned if you're curious about that. I'll just tell you right now that it's kind of like a wireless hotspot for your receiver, so it's pretty cool. And stay tuned to see what that is. Moving on from the main unit, let's go ahead and talk about some other things that are included in this package. So we've also got an AM loophole antenna, so you can listen to some AM radio and stuff like that. We've also got a speaker microphone testers to make sure that you've configured your speaker setup correctly. And finally, we've got a really easy to use remote, and I will go ahead and go over each of those buttons. So at the top, we've got a power on and standby on off switch, and below that we've got controls for the second room if you choose to have a second room that is also controlled by the receiver, so you can control the input and volume as well as the power from there. And so that's pretty nice. So right below that you've got all of your input selections, so you can choose the DVD, satellite cable, the auxiliary network mode, TV, sleep. You can dim the LED backlight on the receiver screen, the tuner, just multiple functions and buttons. You've got the tone you can set. You can test the speaker setup with that microphone there, the channel level as well as the audio sign. And that's pretty nice. So right below that we've also got some more stuff. We've got our surround sound mode, our stereo mode, the mute button, as well as below that we've got a D-pad, which is for selections, and enter button. We've also got a setup, top menu, display mode, and return button, our volume buttons, and multiple media controls right below all of that. So all in all, a pretty solid remote, nothing too fancy. It does come with batteries, so you don't have to get any of those, so that was kind of nice. But yeah, pretty solid remote. As far as accessories go that come with the receiver itself, that's pretty much it. The last thing I wanted to talk about real fast was it comes with a really nicely detailed user manual. I mean, most user manuals are just absolutely crap for a bunch of idiots that don't know anything. So it's got these very specific instructions like how to put batteries in or just stuff like that. But this manual is very nice because it explains stuff that you truly wouldn't know how to do. So I'm really glad that they took the time to make a decent manual. For example, the network thing that they've got going on, they thoroughly explained how to use everything correctly, and it was really easy for me to set up because it's a completely new technology that really no one knows about, and only because it's only made by Sherwood. So yeah, so good manual and sweet. Anyways, guys, that's gonna pretty much wrap it up for this overview as far as I've tested it, and stay tuned because I will have a full review and a full explanation of how to use the Wi-Fi feature. But as far as I've tested, I haven't really had any problems with this receiver. It's worked great, so I can pretty much say right now that I do recommend this receiver, but stay tuned for the full review. Anyways, guys, I will leave links to this in the description below where you can check all this stuff out. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, or just wait till the review video because I might answer them there. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.